What's good, everyone? This is Dev the Coolest.
And this is JB.
And welcome to Slick Talk. Hashtag Slick Talk. Hey.
Welcome to Slick Talk, y'all.
Welcome to Slick Talk with a hashtag. It. Hey.
We got to get his little intro, his little fun intro.
Right. Welcome back, y'all, to our season finale, season 5 finale. Oh, my goodness. It's been 12 episodes this season already.
12 episodes, 5 seasons, steady. We had a little breaks in between them, but they haven't been long breaks. So this has been kind of like a back-to-back type of thing for us. And I'm excited about it. I'm sure Dev is as well. And excited about the future and what's to come with the podcast.
This is our 60th episode, JB.
60. Wow.
Each season we've had 12 episodes, right?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So this is our 60th episode.
Happy 60th episode.
Happy 60th episode.
So I think by next season we won't be at, I think for the 100th episode, I think we can celebrate and do something big, for the 100th episode. And hopefully by that time we're like signed to a network or something, or we're doing tours or whatever the case may be. Hopefully we're leveled up from now. I'm very happy where we're at right now, but I do want, longevity and to keep on moving up and up. So we'll see.
What we should do for the 100th episode? We should just get in front of the camera and twerk and start on the fan.
You said I should try to get in front of the camera. Were you talking about yourself? Did we have a conversation about me twerking already?
I'm joking.
No, but I honestly think what I first came to when I was thinking about, and then we can start the conversation. But what I was thinking about first to celebrate the 100th episode is like having a huge party and just having like 100 and balloons and having everybody there and like just like a big party, because we've had parties. We've had parties in the past for our like releases of our seasons, and I think I'm just fiending for parties right now because we can't. So that's the first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking about what we could do to celebrate 100. But anyways, what are we talking about today?
Yes. Well, today we're doing a shooting the shit. We started with a shooting the shit this season. But we didn't have any more this season. We kind of talked about some things this season.
Absolutely. Like, I think the last season we had a couple of them, a few of them.
We had a few.
Yeah, so I think that there's been so many hot topics and so many things that we've come up with amongst each other that we just wanted to discuss that we hadn't really had the chance to kind of do a shoot in the shit. But I'm happy that we're doing it for the end of the season, the last episode. There's a lot of shit to get into.
Yes, there's so much. so much. But we will be remiss to neglect talking about the election.
Yes.
Like let's just start it, get it out the way, talk about it real quick, get done with it. So it's very important. We're not trying to like brush it under the rug or anything, but we've all been kind of like going through it with regard to this election. So I think I do want to give this quick preface that we are recording the week before the episode is released. Y'all should know that by this point. So we're recording today, Thursday, November, what is it, the 4th or 5th?
It's the 5th.
It's the 5th. So we don't know what's going to happen between now and Monday when the episode is released or by the time you guys listen to it, but we're giving just where we stand currently today on November 5th. And hopefully,
And also to mention, it's exactly 2 days after Election Day.
Yes.
That we're recording.
Yes.
So we're 2 days in, we're still waiting for a verdict.
Yes, we're still waiting for a verdict from a few. What are the states?
Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and those 4.
So what are you thinking? What are your thoughts as far as like where it's going? Like how are you feeling? How are you coping with this shit?
What's crazy is that listening back to this in the space that we are right now, where it's kind of unknown of what's going to happen, But when we do listen back to this and when it does come out on Monday, it's going to be deep to listen to what we thought at the time compared to what it actually ends up happening when this is all over, right?
Yeah.
So right now, as it stands, I think Biden is behind. Well, first I'll start with, I have less anxiety going on right now. I'm pretty like optimistic, super optimistic about Biden's chances on becoming president. Super optimistic. I'm happy. I'm excited. I don't see that there's too much that Trump can do at this stage right now to kind of overcome what Biden, the momentum of Biden. So in addition to saying that, I've been still keeping my eye on the polls and like the news articles and watching live television to see what they're doing on CNN. And right now it looks like that Biden is set to, in my personal opinion, and what I can see from the reporting,
right,
is that he's set to take over Pennsylvania. They still have a lot of votes. I think like 14,000 or some type of votes, some number of votes coming out of Philly. And as we both know, Philly is highly populated
by
with us Black people. And again, us Black people coming through in the clutch.
Right. Saving the country every time.
Saving the country. So yeah,
we've been carrying this country on our back for over damn near 500 years. Like this shit is crazy.
And still doing it, and then they don't want us, to complain. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, I think he's going to take Philadelphia and he's going to take Georgia. Those are the two that I'm optimistic about. There are obviously two other ones, which is North Carolina. Another one, which is North Carolina. I also believe he's going to take Nevada. So
not North Carolina. You think Trump has North Carolina?
I think Trump has North Carolina. I think Biden will take Nevada, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. And what I will end on saying that in that part is that I think it's amazing. I want to first acknowledge like the work that Stacey Abrams have been doing in Georgia, with making sure that voter intimidation is down and getting out the vote and making sure people are signed up and registered.
Yeah, and voter suppression is down.
Voter suppression is down. I know that she has a task force out there and she's been working hard ever since, unfortunately she was cheated out of her election. She's been going hard to make sure that no one else is cheated in a state that she loves so dearly. So shout out to her. Shout out to, the Black people in Michigan that have been drones. Like they literally flipped Michigan, and I was so happy, ecstatic about it. And shout out to the Black people in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. We've been coming through. We stepped up to the plate.
Absolutely. I'm just like, it's funny because currently we're like literally everyone's just waiting for Nevada because we feel like right now Nevada is the one that we have on the blue side, that is the one that we have in the bag, and that's all we need to get 270. Or that's all Biden needs to get 270 in order to win.
Yeah.
Like if Biden gets Nevada and Trump gets Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, which right now, like you said, Pennsylvania and Georgia is creeping up to be on Biden's side. Even if we didn't get that and we just got Nevada, Biden will win.
Which is how many electoral votes? I mean, count
for Nevada?
Yeah.
6.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? Like it's only 6 and we just waiting for 6 votes and they want to take their time and go at a snail's pace. But I feel like, what I've been feeling like it too, and I'll let you continue. I feel like it's kind of like they're doing it intentionally. They're not putting out these numbers quickly.
Why do you feel like that?
Because I feel like if it goes either way, there's going to be chaos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if Biden wins the election, there's going to be obviously Trump supporters that are going to be unhappy and they're going to protest and they're going to fight and say that it was rigged and the mail-in ballots didn't count and that, the Democrats stole the election and blah, blah, blah. And then on the other side, there's going to be the same amount of passion. It's not going to be the same rhetoric. We're not going to be like, oh, they stole the election, blah, blah, blah. But we're also going to be angry because we would have, and I'm saying myself included, we would have to deal with the fact that we will be, under another 4 years of a Donald Trump presidency. Right. And that's not something that any of us want to face right now. So there will be high tensions and passions, which whoever wins. So I feel like they're really kind of like, trying to take their time on putting out this information and these, the the numbers and everything like that, because they want to make sure that the excitement and the anxiety is at least kind of like down for some people, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's just
I totally feel you, because the longer you kind of like put it off, people kind of like forget it or put it in the back of their mind. And
exactly.
I don't know what the reaction will be once everything is completely counted. I'm assuming that we will get stuff tomorrow, last Friday for y'all listening today. But like I'm assuming we'll get a lot more numbers on, soon. But I read something today that said Nevada wouldn't even release their final, I guess, quote unquote, verdict until the 12th.
Yeah, I seen that too. That's why I'm not even worried about Nevada at this point. Like, I don't know what y'all got going on.
Right, y'all don't even got that many people.
Listen, is it like 9 million or something?
If that.
I don't know how many they said it was. I forgot.
They haven't even hit the million mark for either for Joe Biden or Donald Trump.
Yeah.
As far as votes go, I mean, combined, yes, but separately, no. So, like, California was able to get stuff done. Like, we're the second largest state. Texas was able to get stuff done. They're the largest state in the country.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
how do you feel about, like, I'm curious on how do you feel about how, I mean, I feel like I know what you're going to say, but to ask you, how do you feel about the rhetoric and kind of how Donald Trump has just been handling himself during this whole process? Like, how do you, like, I know, I have a feeling of what you're going to say, but how do you truly feel about it?
Well, no, the thing is, I'm not surprised, right? Like, we talked about a little while on our IG Live, like you mentioned that this has been, the blueprint is already there. He already told us that he wasn't going to concede easily. He was going to fight it back. Like him, like, and I would never be able to understand a Trump voter's like mind, like where they are. Like it's just a mob mentality, I guess, at the core of it, because you have on one end, you have Trump for Arizona, for example. You have Trump saying like, keep counting, because he feels like he can win Arizona eventually. But then you look at Pennsylvania, you look at Georgia, and he's suing them and telling them to stop counting. Because he's currently in the lead, but he sees that the mail-in votes are creeping up behind him, right? And it's like, well, it's not like people are still voting today.
No, they're done.
You know what I'm saying? These are votes that all were submitted before November 3rd, on November 3rd. Nobody's voting November 4th and going forward.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, you can't, we're in a democracy. So this whole rhetoric and him saying he already, like, there is a special place in the bottom of hell for him.
Listen,
this man, I just really like, with the divisiveness that he's causing in this country. He's about to be out of the seat of presidency. And now Joe Biden has to clean it up, just like Obama did in 2008 when Bush left. And then you have a black woman. She's definitely going to be in Joe Biden's. You're like, no, this is what we need to do to get this shit.
Exactly.
But with Trump specifically, I'm not surprised, but I'm just like, that man, there is a special place for him.
Yeah. Bloop, bloop, bloop. No, I agree. It's definitely it's like super duper disappointing that, the leader of the free world, like in a sense, the most important and powerful person in the world, because United States obviously is number one. That's no shade to other countries, but he's definitely like the most important, person in the world, and he's acting as if he doesn't care about democracy. You know what I'm saying? Like these antics, like, are going to be remembered and have a trickle down effect for generations. Like, we're going to have to look back. Our kids are going to have to look back at this moment and say, one of our presidents was literally trying to delegitimize, unlegitimize, or what is it called? Delegitimize people's votes and say that they're not, that they're fake and they're not real, all because they, brought them in, or because they were counted after the fact, not because they voted after the fact, but because they have been counted after the fact. So it's definitely, it's really, really disappointing. And I mean, I have no words. I'm just excited that what it looks like to me is that he's not going to be in office no more.
Right.
And,
We're just waiting for the final, like just the final. He won't concede right away. I will say that. And then we have to wait for the Electoral College to meet in December. That's when things will, and then in January, I think is what, January 5th, around there, that's when it's like the I don't want to get this wrong. I want to say it's the Senate or the House. Well, the House or the Senate meets and they confirm like, okay, this is going to be the president.
Yeah.
Years. And then the vice president is the one that, I don't know if you noticed, but the vice president is the one that announces to the country who the next president is going to be.
I do know that the vice president has like certain powers that I don't think a lot of people realize that they have, or that she has. Another one of the powers that they have is he's like a tiebreaker. You know what I'm saying?
In the Senate.
In the Senate, you know, she could be the tiebreaker. But what I would say lastly on this, me, I know it's a hot topic, so we naturally are going to spend a lot of time on it because it's what's really, really important right now.
And it's we're passionate about it. This is our livelihood,
and it determines our future. You know, and you know, because the policies that the next president makes are going to affect our children. If you know, believe it or not, they're going to affect our probably ourselves if it's fast enough, but also our children, you know, that we have coming up, if we're blessed to have them. But what I will say also, in addition and lastly for me, is that, you know, even if Biden does win, and like I said constantly throughout, you know, since we've been talking, I believe he will. Even if he does win, I think it still makes me nervous, and it's heartbreaking to know that 92 Americans, 92 citizens in America, 92, excuse me, not 92, 92 million, 92 million people in America, as of right now, voted for Donald Trump. 92 million and counting.
Is
92 million. Huh? Well, that's what I've seen. It may be more right now, but from when I've seen it, it was definitely 92 million. From the time that I've seen that, it's probably
And the reason why I have to correct you on that is because Joe Biden has the most votes, period, like in the history of the United States. He's garnered the most votes, and currently he's at 73.5 million votes.
So
Donald Trump is at 69.6 votes, 69.6 million votes.
69. Okay, so maybe I don't know where I got 92 from.
I was like, oh no, child, because I mean he would have won.
Listen, I'm happy to hear. Thanks for correcting me. That is not 92, no problem. But to still even hear that it's in the 60s, maybe it was 62 or something like that.
Yeah, they're damn near both 70 million, so it's like half and half.
And it's going to get high, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get a little higher than that by the time the election is over. So to hear that there's that many people out there, we'll just call it 60 right now. To hear that there's 60 million people that have voted for this person is just astronomical. I'm like, really? So 60, like I'm
69 million.
Okay, so 69 million and counting.
Right. That's crazy. Okay, get to your point. I'm sorry.
I know, right? 69. Come on, fact checker. We need one of those. But I was just in the airport not too long ago, and like I was surrounded by like white people, and I know that this is California, and you know we're liberal and everything like that, and we won in a landslide when it comes to Biden. I was still looking at them like any one of these motherfuckers could have been a Donald Trump, you know, supporter. If you're looking at 69 million people that have voted for him, like any one of these white people, because I think they came out with a poll for they came in a poll, and this is the last thing I said. It's a lot of information that's out there that I'm taking in, but I think they came out with the statistics for who had been voting for him, who voted for him this election, and they said that it was that white women was like 55%. That white women voted for him.
55% of white women voted for Trump. 55%.
Let that sink in.
Right, and black people keep saving this damn country. I'm just like, I don't. But fingers crossed, you know, we're gonna be fine regardless. But fingers crossed. All right.
Yes.
That's it for now.
But speaking on I will say that Donald Trump is trying to put up a fight,
a false fight,
a false fight. Yeah, a false fight, but he's a fight nonetheless. But speaking on fighting, I came across I came across a clip not too long ago of Mike Tyson checking Boosie
Yeah.
On his comments that he made about, Zaya Wade. Did you get a chance to check that out?
Sure did. And baby, Boosie knew not to say that back to Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson popped that right in the mouth. But I will say, I do love that they were able to just sit and have a conversation about it. But Mike Tyson definitely went there and he was like, basically like, are you gay? Have you been touched?
Yeah.
Like, where is this coming from? Why does it matter to you? Like, Mike Tyson was like, I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to indulge myself in it, or I'm not going to insert myself in it, So why do you feel so passionate about it enough to a point where you want to speak out on it?
Exactly.
And I love how Mike Tyson approached him with that. And I appreciate also, I don't appreciate Boosie, and where his mindset is, but they were just having the civil conversation. But what were your takeaways from the conversation?
Well, I first was grateful and thankful that that these two Black men were having this type of conversation. I feel like that's what we need to do more, and that's why I appreciate the show. Is that I feel like a lot of Black men just need to like be open and honest with each other and really say what's on our hearts, and just like check each other if we need to be checked. You know what I'm saying? Or lift up one another if we need to be lift up, or coach someone if they need to be coached, or educate someone if they needed to be educated. So the fact that they had this type of sit down with each other. I think Mike Tyson has like a show or something, a podcast or a radio show or something that he has, and he had Boosie on the show. But the fact that the conversation did go to Mike Tyson asking him about, why he was saying those things. And Boosie, what I will say to Boosie's credit, which I don't give him a lot, but what I will say to Boosie's credit is that I don't feel like he got defensive. I feel like he answered the questions that was given to him, whether people are saying, oh, because he was scared of Mike and Mike would knock him out. But Mike was literally sitting there like smoking a cigar and said, well, are you gay? Literally asked him if he was gay. And for a lot of Black men and men in general, I feel like they take that question offensively. I feel like,
totally. And we're going to play a quick clip of it right now.
Why do you say things about person that might be a homosexual? Why do you say that about them? Do you feel the possibility that you're a homosexual and you by disrespect them, you further yourself from being a homosexual, or thinking you may like homosexuals?
Nah, I'm straight as an arrow. I'm just saying,
I'm not saying you are, but why do you have? If you're straight, why do you? I really
commented on the Dwayne Wade situation. Yeah. Because I got offended because it's a child. That's why I really got offended, and that's why I really said if it was a motherfucking 19-year-old, 18-year-old grown person, I probably wouldn't. I know I wouldn't have said nothing.
Why did you?
But I felt like
I'm just saying, I'm not judging you. Don't ever think I'm here judging you. I'm just trying to understand you.
Yeah.
Because I got some demons. You ain't in my world when it comes to demons.
Yeah.
Okay, but just tell me why.
It was just like, I just felt like, that's a child.
But anyway, so the episode or the Mike Tyson's podcast is called Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. I kind of just gave him a free plug just now, but
right. As if he really needs it, though.
Right. We need him to plug us. Shit.
Listen, period. But yeah, so a lot of people were saying that that Boosie was so kind of like calm and had a good conversation because he was scared of Mike Tyson. But I just honestly feel like, he's a grown man, and he realizes that he got a lot of backlash for doing that, and he knew that it was important to talk about it to kind of swing people to probably come back to him or to forgive him or whatever the case may be. So
that in addition to his problematic stance with regard to what happened with his son when he got the woman to give his son fellatio.
Yeah. But that goes, what's crazy is that goes back to the whole conversation in the episode that we had last week about like, generational trauma, and, we were calling it as well as generational curses. I feel like those kind of actions happen a lot in the Black family, unfortunately. Like a lot of, I personally believe a lot of Black dads probably get into the mode of being like, oh, I'm gonna have my son do this because he thinks that maybe he may be, like gay or whatever the case.
That'll make him more manly. That'll make him
more manly
or straight.
I feel like that happens a lot, and it's just, I feel like people that are not being in tune to what's going on in the world right now, which is that everybody has to be politically correct, especially on social media. God forbid you say something that is against the grain, you're going to be attacked to the day's end, you're going to be canceled, everything like that. It's just, a lot of people still don't understand that that's what's going on, and they're trying to be in their own lane, and they're trying to be authentic and themselves, but it's a fight because they know that if they truly say what's on their mind and truly say how they feel, that it may not align with what the general population feels, and then they'll get called out for it.
No, totally. And you brought up cancel culture, and we had an episode about this a while back, but I think I'm at a space now where it's like, sometimes some people deserve to be canceled, yes, but this whole cancel culture thing is just blown. It's just too much now. It has just been blown out of proportion. I think there's a difference between canceling. There should be a difference between canceling someone and holding someone accountable.
Absolutely.
Right, for the things that they say or the actions that they have, I guess, portrayed.
Absolutely.
But I don't think everyone necessarily deserves to be canceled. But like, for example, I would say I would cancel a rapist or someone that is molesting kids, and that's canceled. That's no excuse for that. You have to be held accountable as well. Go to jail, do whatever to do on that end. But then also when you have someone speaking out and saying their opinion, right? Or if you have someone like Ice Cube, which I don't agree. I mean, he didn't say that he was supporting Trump, but he kind of muddied the waters a little bit, and Kanye West and Lil Wayne and stuff like that. It's like, I want to hold them accountable more so for what they say versus canceling them. Kanye is kind of leaning more towards the cancel for me currently, but
my thing too is that that's, for me also, I feel like that's a slippery slope when we're talking about holding someone accountable, because like, if someone really feel like, using Ice Cube as an example, if he really felt like by him meeting with Trump and discussing the platinum plan, which was essentially the plan that he says he was discussing, if he truly believed that that's something that would have benefited our community, by talking to Trump and introducing that and talking about that plan and trying to, help the Black community, like, what is there to hold him accountable for if that's what he believed was right for our community?
Right. And I think with that specific example, the community did hold him accountable. It was like, so why? Like, why are you, like, even though he never said that he was supporting Trump, that I think the Trump campaign kind of put that out there. He was like, no, this is what it is. Like, and y'all can rock with it or not, but this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean with regard to holding people accountable. But also it's like, hold people accountable with an open ear and an open mind too. Like, just because someone doesn't necessarily align with your thoughts and the way that you look at things doesn't mean that what they believe is wrong.
Exactly.
Maybe for you it may be fundamentally wrong, but for them it's not. So you can agree to disagree, but when you get to like the extremes of things, like, I think you just have to figure out and decipher whether or not someone needs to be canceled or held accountable.
Exactly. But speaking of another older Black dude that was saying, I guess, homophobic things towards another person, was there was also headlines about Dave East, who's a rapper that I really don't pay attention to.
I don't either. I don't really listen to stuff.
I don't really listen
to stuff that he said with Lil Nas X about Lil Nas X.
Yeah, I'm not really really a fan at all. I have come across him on like social media, or he was posted on the Shade Room or whatever the case may be. I'm like, oh, he's handsome, he's cute. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, okay, maybe if he was in my face,
Yeah, what?
I said maybe if he was in my face, we can see what's good. But outside of that, he hasn't made any music that stood out to me, and it most likely won't, because he just seems like a trash individual. I'm not canceling him. Speaking of canceling, but apparently he did say he did post about Little X Nas
Lil Nas X.
Little Nas X
Mhm.
about he posted to his story about how Little Nas X dressed up like Nicki Minaj for Halloween. And he
Okay.
was basically
He
like,
bodied. I
huh?
think he bodied.
Yes, he looked good.
Somebody
He
said he looked like Fantasia, but
oh, listen, what they not gonna do is come for my girl Fantasia.
Fantasia looks good as fuck too.
She looks good. She is everything to me. But yeah, he did look good. But what did you think about that? Like him posting what he posted into the story and said, "This is what y'all was mad at me about," because I guess they got into it in the past. And then underneath it, he said a derogatory term that they use in Jamaica, or a lot of Jamaicans and Caribbeans that they use for homosexuals, which is body boy. And he put that on the bottom of the picture on his story. How do you feel about that? Like, is he worth being canceled? Or technically he called him a derogatory term too. Like, what do you feel about that?
He's not anybody enough to be canceled. So
fired. Boom, 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 boom.
No, and that's no shade. It's just like like you said, he's handsome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little boy, but he's not. He doesn't hold enough weight to be canceled. But I just, this whole fascination with people, what people do with their lives and their sexuality and how they present their sexuality and how they move within their sexuality, and you just having something to say about it when it's not directly affecting you, it never has and it never will sit right with me. Like, why did you feel the need? Like, okay, y'all had y'all little funk, I guess, at once upon a time, but like, I think there's like some underlying homophobic tones in that.
Yeah.
You know, like there's some underlying like, oh, is this is what y'all compare me to, or this is like, y'all really like,
yeah.
look at him, like he's dressed as a woman, and it's like, why? Like, okay, so he can I mean, I don't know if he can, but a nigga in a dress can still probably beat your ass.
Exactly. Period.
When it comes down to it, can be more man than you in a lot of ways.
Will, there's not no probably about it. There are definitely dudes out there that could dress up in a skirt and wop his ass.
Right.
Like, period.
Right. And so it's like, and that, I mean, beating somebody up, that doesn't necessarily equate to being like a man, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're talking about whooping his ass for opening his mouth. He opened his mouth.
Right, exactly. But saying some shit, like, you can get your ass beat. So it's like, come on, like, why? There's just some underlying homophobic tones to that, and I don't know
if it's underlying.
He has to deal with.
It's completely homophobic.
I don't know if it's right, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and with that derogatory term, yes, it's completely homophobic, but like him, just like his intention, it's just all homophobic. And it's like, is there something that you need to address, sir?
Right.
Like, going back to the whole Boosie thing, like with him, with Dave East, is there something that you need to address? Why are you so concerned with people's sexuality? Why do you, with anybody, why do you feel like utilizing someone's sexuality is a good way to insult them?
Yeah.
It's not an insult, especially to us in the LGBTQ. We live in our best lives. We love in who we love in.
Period.
You're an unhappy one.
Period.
So, anyway.
But yeah, that's all the time I want to give on that.
Yes.
But what else? Have you heard anything else going on?
Did you get some Ivy Park?
Child, I did purchase. I purchased the sweater, the green sweater.
Yes.
The green sweater. So it was crazy because when I saw the rollout and when she was posting pictures and, you know, that was being announced that it's going to be dropping, I wasn't really too enthusiastic about buying anything because I'm like, I didn't buy the first drop, and, you know, if it comes around, I get it. Like, I'm just not that type of person. Like, I'm usually not that type of person to be like, oh, well, let me go cop this. Let me go get the new Yeezys. Let me go get the Jordans, or whatever the case may be. Like, I get shit when I get it. And most of the time, most of the shit I get is not name brand. But with that specifically,
nor does it need to be.
Nor does it need to be, exactly. But with that specifically, I had been seeing just the amazing rollout that she did, and then it finally got to a point where I was told by a friend of mine that, oh, she's dropping it tomorrow, you know, blah, blah. So it's kind of like the excitement from one of my friends about getting pieces kind of rubbed off on me. So when the day came, I was like, oh, child, let me go see what's online. Oh, let me see if I can get this. And I seen the sweater, and I'm like, wait, this is kind of fire.
Yes, a lot of the stuff on there is really nice.
Yeah, so I purchased the sweater. I wanted to get the shoes, but they were sold out. So yeah.
Maybe everything was sold out when I looked.
Yeah.
I was gonna get I was trying to get a little fanny pack that was sold out. I said, now wait a minute, I can't get shit on this site. But it's all right.
But you know what? There was a trick that I found out from my friend and how I was probably able to get the sweater is that online, like a lot of people are going to the Adidas website and they had a timer to when I guess the clothes were going to be released on the website. And what a lot of people didn't know is that you can already go shopping for the clothes on the app at that time. On the app. So the same time on the website that they had a little clocking tick down saying, "Oh,
you didn't tell me shit."
Listen, I didn't tell nobody nothing. I was just like, "Oh, let me go see what I got." I wasn't thinking about nothing else. I was like, "Oh, let me go see what she got." Oh, I downloaded the app real quick, and then I seen a lot of stuff available, and I'm like, "Let me go see. Can I get this?" And went to go try to see the shoes, and I only have a size 7 and 10 and 11. Was about to see.
I wear a size 11. You could have got me the 11.
Boy, you do not wear a size of motherfucking 11.
Yes, I do.
I used this motherfucking computer.
Do you want me to get my shoe box?
Listen, I don't know who left their shoes over your house or their shoe box over your house.
Size 11.
Listen, it's giving size 6 for me. No, I'm just kidding.
I wish I did wear a size 6. But no, I wore a size 9 in middle school.
Oh my God, I didn't realize you were a size 11. You got some big ass feet.
I have big ass feet and big ass hands for no reason.
And you like, how tall are you?
I read that.
How tall are you?
I'm only 5'7".
5'7" with a size 11 shoe. Child, Dev, is you single still? Let one of our listeners know what's the deal.
La Cienega, you remember from Proud Family? La Cienega with her feet when she was swimming.
Oh,
got those big.
Come on, did paddles?
That's right. That's what I got. I got paddles.
Nah, but
I do want to say, now that we're on the size of feet, you know how they say you can measure. I'm gonna get a little raunchy, a little explicit. You know how you can? They say like the size of men's feet doesn't tell you how endowed they are. What you have to look at are their hands.
Yes.
So look at their hands. So if this finger is bigger than this finger,
okay,
or this finger, excuse me, is smaller.
Y'all can't see, finger, but I'm listening.
Right. If your index finger, if the index finger is smaller than the ring finger, if they put their hand together, that means they were exposed to more testosterone in the mother's womb, which in turn could possibly mean that they're a little bit more well endowed.
So if your index finger is smaller than your
ring finger, when you put your fingers together,
on your left hand or right hand or both hands?
Either hand.
Let me see. Ow!
Shut up.
It wasn't nothing I didn't already know. I mean, you know.
Right. But you have to look at it, yeah. But if the index finger is a little longer than the ring finger, then that's not to say that if they a little less endowed. It's just, you know, they just
I'm about to be looking at people's hands left and right.
I told you that's why I'm attracted to people's hands.
Shut up. You did say that. I was wondering why you didn't say that earlier. Then I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. Because at the time I was like, this dude's low-key a weirdo. Like, who's attracted to hands?
Not the weirdo. It's the weirdo for me.
Talk about, it was the hands for me.
It's the hands for me.
He had me at the hands. No, but speaking of well endowed, somebody got Kelly Rowland pregnant again. What's her husband's name? John Witherspoon or something? Or John no. John, one of those.
Wait, you caught me off guard with that one. Stop it. Because I was gonna say Todd, but that's Candy's husband.
Oh no. Oh, Candy's husband is Todd, yeah. No, what's the name? Kelly's husband is like something Witherspoon, I think.
His name is Tim.
Tim Witherspoon, okay. There we go. I knew it was something with the spoon. But Mr.
It is Weatherspoon, yes. Tim
Weatherspoon. Huh?
Weatherspoon.
Come on, Weatherspoon.
You talk about Reese Witherspoon. It's Tim Weatherspoon.
How do you spell Weatherspoon?
Weatherspoon.
That's really how he spells it?
T-H-E-R.
That's spoon. So weird.
Ooh, why you
Because that name, that last name, I didn't really think it was spelt like that.
Yeah,
like Weather Spoon.
Bloop, bloop,
Okay.
bloop.
But anyways,
But
so
he knocked
Mr.
her up.
Weatherspoon, Mr. Weatherspoon got one of the childs of Destiny pregnant again for the second time.
Congrats, y'all.
Congratulations to Kelly.
Yeah. What do you think
I
is
don't
gonna
think
be a boy or girl?
I was just about to ask that. I think that it's going to be a girl.
Same.
I think it's going to be a girl. I don't want to say that Kelly is the type of person to kind of like go and make that decision, you know, because you can make that decision now.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it could be a possibility. I mean, a lot of, you know, I just feel like a lot of celebrities have that access and that, you know, desire to kind of like shape the way they want their family to kind of look, especially if they're in the public eye. And I think it would be, pleasing to her, and she thinks it may be pleasing to the public to have like a boy and a girl. And I think a lot of people, a lot of families in general want a boy and a girl to start off with anyway. So yeah.
No, yeah. I think the boy and the girl kind of just like an even, it just balances it out a little bit. And like you said, so far, I think with the Destiny's Child lineage with Beyonce and Kelly, like their children seem to kind of like fall in line with the traditional family. Beyonce has 2 girls and a boy, you know, or a girl, boy. I think she's gonna have a boy and a girl and stop. I'm waiting for Miss Michelle.
Right.
Have,
Michelle My Belle.
Right. Michelle My Belle. I'm waiting. I mean, it's just unfortunate her marriage didn't work out, but you know, it's God's timing for her.
It is God's timing.
Calandria, good congratulations.
Or, you know, if she doesn't want to have kids at all, because there are women out there that just don't want to have kids. I think she possibly said at one time, because I think I watched an interview that she had with Tina Knowles, Mama Tina, that she said she did want to have kids. But if she decides that she doesn't, then, you know.
That's her prerogative. Women don't have to have kids.
Period. But no shade, she is creeping up there in age, so she need to hurry up and figure it out.
She's the oldest of the 3, isn't she?
Yeah, she's the oldest of the 3. But yeah, so what I have been excited about as of late, and since we're still going through this like quarantine type of pandemic thing, staying in the house, not too much to do, is that Netflix has been pulling out all the stops on the shows that we grew up watching.
All the Black shows are on Netflix. Not all of them, but most of them.
Listen, I have been getting so much nostalgia, like watching these shows, like, dang, I remember exactly where I was at on this episode. And I also remember exactly how I felt on this episode. Ain't that crazy?
Oh, well, I mean, that's not far-fetched though.
Yeah.
It's like and stuff, and sites kind of remind you of things in your childhood. I'm sure a show would do the same thing for you.
Have you been watching all of them, or is there one that you've been watching the more, or?
No, I have not been watching all of them. I probably need to. So growing up, I did not watch like One-on-One and Half and Half.
Really?
I didn't watch that growing up, no.
Okay.
But like even right now, what I've been watching every night and what I used to watch all the time is The Parkers. That show is like and then I feel it's an insult when they ask me to skip the intro. It's like, don't ask me to skip the intro to a Black sitcom. I want to listen to the whole thing.
We want to hear the intro. We want to hear the intro. Mo to the E to the.
That one too.
Being and funny is me.
What she say?
The only part I know is now realizing my responsibilities. It's me.
Okay.
My best friends are always on my mind.
Hey.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I've been singing on this podcast like I actually have a voice.
Come on, sing that. Get a record deal.
Even though I'm just playing, I'm not serious, y'all. But I don't know how I've been getting comfortable with singing on this podcast. You said what?
Is what I've been watching, and it's funny. Speaking on nostalgia, like I'm the type, because the Parkers always play like the little bloopers at the end of every episode. So I sit and watch the end of the episode, and I look at the year that it came out, and it started in '99, but I'm on toward the end of season 2, and beginning of season 3 rather, and it's in 2002, and I'm like just thinking of what happened between '99 and 2002. It's just like, wow, like.
all that happened.
They were on do 9/11 and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like that show was on through some stuff, like the election of George Bush. And anyway, but the Parkers has definitely been my go-to. And they need to add Martin. That's what I'm waiting for. When they add Martin, it's a wrap.
Oh yes, I just thought about that. They don't have Martin
On none of the streaming sites. So when they add Martin, it's a wrap. That's what I'm about to be on nonstop.
Yeah, I literally just thought about that. I didn't even really think about Martin, but Martin is actually between Martin and Martin Fresh Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, those two are two of my favorite shows. So once they definitely get that on there, I'm be like, Netflix is pulling out all the stops. But my favorite show that I've been watching out of the four, 101 Half and Half, the Parkers, Moesha, is probably, I would say, Half and Half, which is crazy. I don't know. I guess it's because it's more kind of like adult, you know, like there were two like older adults. So the material and the conversation is kind of like what I can kind of relate to more now. Moesha was like, what, only 15, 16 years old. The Parkers, Kim was 15, 16, 17, 18, I think, throughout the seasons. And then
in real life or on the show? Because in the show, she was in college.
On the show. Yeah, just on the show. Because, I mean, the topics were relatable to that age range at that time. Right. And then 101, they have, you know, Kyla Pratt, who was, I think she was like 15 too, around that age, 15. So Half and Half was definitely right now at this moment a show that I can be like, okay, you know, the same thing with Girlfriends. I forgot about.
I was like, have you been watching Girlfriends? Because I'm like, I definitely watched that too, and that's very relatable now.
Yeah, and you know, something I heard and learned randomly the other day is that The Game, you know, the show The Game. The Game is a spinoff of Girlfriends. Did you know that?
Definitely didn't know that. How?
No, look. Listen, that blew my mind. I was like, so basically I didn't know anything at all growing up of anything in the world because I did not know that was a spinoff of Girlfriends. And
but how?
So y'all go definitely. So basically Melanie, who is one of the lead characters on The Game, is I think Jones' niece or Jones' cousin. And at the end of Girlfriends, I think the final season of Girlfriends or something, Melanie, I think it was Tamara or Tia, one of the two, obviously. But I think one of them come on to the show Girlfriends, one of the episodes that the last season come on the show and talks about how she's moving to San Diego. She talks about, and this is on Girlfriends, she talks about how she's moving to San Diego with Derwin because he just got signed. And then hence the show comes and takes off.
That's so interesting because Girlfriends never had a final episode. Like they never had like a closure episode, which is so interesting. So I wonder if they just went ahead and be like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and move over to.
Possibly. And I didn't even know that as well. I thought there was an ending on Girlfriends, but they probably thought at the time that it would continue too. And then being that they probably didn't come up with new material or couldn't continue, it was like, oh, well, let's just go with a whole different show.
Right. Bloopity.
So
yeah. Wow, I didn't know that, but that's a good point. Wow. Yeah. But yeah, add Martin, add Living Color. They need to. I'm waiting for all those extra shows.
Exactly. But yeah, what else have you heard? Have you heard anything hot topic? I mean, I have a few other things that
still praying for Tamar Braxton. You know, she thankfully her suicide attempt didn't go through. And now she's vocal and speaking out on it. And basically she said it was a lot to do with the Braxton Family Values show. They just didn't care. The producers, they didn't care about her and her well-being and her saying that she was over it. And she told them that she would kill herself and they just didn't care.
Exactly.
So I'm definitely still praying for Tamar. She's a Pisces like me. We're emotional as fuck. Our emotions when we get to a space is just crazy. So
you know, it's crazy. I feel like I agree from the Pisces that are in my life, and you know, you specifically, I feel like you guys are emotional, but then you guys are good at not showing your emotions, which kind of like for me is kind of, it makes me feel like are they like, it would make you feel like, are they emotional or are they going through it or are they feel this way or do they feel this way? Because for the most part, you can't really tell. Like they move through life with, you know, showing you that they're doing good, they're not bothered or anything like that until you dive deeper or until it comes out that, yeah, this was an issue. So for Tamar, I feel like she probably was in that mindset of trying to show the world and be on the show and say, hey, I'm doing good and sisterly love and I'm putting out music and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And we didn't know anything different until we finally find out that she tried to take her life. And we're like, wait, we knew she was problematic. We knew that, you know, she has a big mouth or whatever. And, she acts like one of the kids. She acts like one of the gay kids at some times. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely praying for her as well. But when that happened, I think we were shocked because we're like, we didn't see any type of signs that it would be that extreme, you know?
And, you know, it's all about your circle for sure. Like, I mean, we're not going to really get into signs and stuff like that because that's not, we'll have another astrology episode at some point. But I mean, just even more speaking on the whole Pisces thing, it's like we're very much so like we'll deal with our feelings on our own terms. Mm-hmm. But we'll step away, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like going to our own thing. Of the 3 water signs, that's how we deal with our emotions. We just retract socially.
Yeah,
we're typically very social people, but we need to like get it together. You won't see or hear from us for a long time until we get it together.
Yeah, but with I can see that. What I will say too is that I also watched her on the Tamron show.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was her first interview, and she went on the Tamron Hall show. And something that stood out to me, I won't talk too much about it, but something that stood out to me is that for one, well, 2 things that stood out for me. For one, she looked so believable, and she looked so scared and kind of like just nervous. Like first of all, she was beat, makeup beat, hair beat, body beat, but you could just tell that she kind of still felt uncomfortable. But that she just kind of wanted to give more information on what exactly happened, as well as she wanted to essentially clear her name, you know, because there's still people saying that she did this for attention and, you know, just bashing her and everything while she's at her lowest. So that was one of the things that stood out for me. The second thing that stood out for me is that she said that this persona that we see of her as being like the angry Black woman, as being confrontational, like I said, having an attitude, having a big mouth. I said that she said that that's not true. That's not who she is, you know, but she said that she was coached and, you know, pretty much told to try to give that type of persona away because it was engaging with the viewers and people, you know, were entertained by her being that type of way. And it became too much for her to bear. And it just started adding up. And that was part of what led to her wanting to take her life. So I thought that was interesting. And I was just like, you know, I don't know whether it's 100% true or not. It could be her personality. It could be who she is. But right now on Tamron's show, she said that it's not her. And it's unfortunate that she still has this image of her being that way when she's not really that way.
That's not who she really is. That's so unfortunate. But sending prayers and thoughts to Tamar and the whole family for sure.
And sending prayers and thoughts, and also sending prayers and thoughts to Wendy Williams. You know.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, that episode where she was like she couldn't get through the segment, like she couldn't read the teleprompter, she couldn't, you know, and it's hard. I get it. It's difficult having to entertain people every single day and talk about stuff every single day and being briefed by producers every single day and trying to get through it. And her on The Masked Singer, she couldn't even get through the songs. She was giggling, kiki, ha ha, laughing through all the songs. And I really hope she gets the help that she needs because she's been through a lot with her marriage and her son is in college and I don't know if he's home now, but you know.
Yeah.
Her as well.
It's definitely
entertainment business is not cute, y'all. Don't think it's all cute and glamorous. And a lot of it is because of the people that consume the entertainers, I guess just everything that the entertainer does. Like they can't lead a normal life because they have to leave a pristine life for all of us that are watching them.
Exactly.
And it's like that aids in their demise, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, but I mean, I'm there are some people out there that I've seen or I've watched over time that seem from the outside looking in seem to be handling it as best as they can. Like for example, I know Beyonce probably has tons of issues that go on daily or weekly or whatever the case may be, but we don't know what goes on at all. She keeps her business to herself. By the way, her whole camp keeps their business to themselves. If she literally was to tell a news article or news station or a TV station that she would go on their network and literally give a full statement of that exactly about what exactly happened on the elevator and why that happened, listen, they'll probably offer this girl whatever she wants. They would offer her whatever she wants because there's this feeling of wanting to know what goes on, but because she's so secretive and she doesn't talk about anything, we would never know.
Right. There's a lot of people like that, a lot of celebrities like that. I guess it's just kind of like how you maneuver, right?
Exactly. But lastly, there was talk on one of the blogs on Instagram about whether or not Saucy Santana was the one, shout out to Saucy Santana, was the one that coined the term, "It's the blank for me."
Like we did earlier. No, I would definitely attribute it to him because if he wasn't the first one to say it, he's the one that definitely made it popular.
Exactly.
If he wasn't the first one to say it, he's the one that made it popular.
Do you remember? I think I would not probably the first time, but the biggest time, the main time
when he was on live with Young Miami.
Yes, Carisha, please. It's the wit for me. I mean, and it's crazy because like not too long ago, somebody had posted. I think they had said, "What would you leave in 2020?" And obviously there's a lot of things that I will leave in 2020 and I will leave in 2020. But one of the things that stood out at that moment, which was funny, is that saying, it's the blank for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like a lot of people have been saying it. I feel like it's dying down a little bit right now from what I can see. But a lot of people have been saying it and it has been crossing over to even like straight dudes saying, it's the blank for me.
That's always how it is with the gay dudes saying shade and tea and all that. They love the lingo.
But one lingo that I haven't heard a straight man say yet outside of you throwing shade or it's the blank for me is what's tea.
But I haven't heard them say it like that. But I've heard what's the tea.
You heard what's the tea?
I sure have. From
really.
Straight, like they say they're straight, so I have to say that they're straight men.
Okay, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that at all. I would blow my mind because I know they say shade. Listen, shade has been.
They don't give it across. It's like as how I would like. What's the tea? Like you know what I'm saying? They give it more like quote unquote.
Exactly.
But no, I've heard it definitely.
But that just goes to show we can. End the episode by saying that we need to people need to start giving, gay Black men our credit where it's due because we be bringing up, we be starting stuff and trendsetters and keeping your flyest bitch hair laid and face beat. We be doing the damn thing. And, all we want is a little bit of credit, but I feel like the credit is coming.
A little credit, a little recognition. It's the lack of recognition. It's the lack of recognition for me.
It's the lack of recognition for me. And you got to do the head too. The head back side to side. It's the lack of recognition for me. Okay? Listen. But yeah. I feel like this is a great episode. It was our final episode.
But not our final ever, just for the season.
Final episode of the season.
Yes. Our final episode of the season finale of season 5. Oh my goodness. So Cinco de Cinco. So
how y'all say episodes? Episode cinco. Yes. I mean no, season. How y'all say season? Season cinco.
Who is y'all? Who are you saying y'all?
to people that speak Spanish
Oh,
or that know Spanish. To those people, y'all that speak Spanish.
Temporada.
Oh,
Temporada.
Abra pata cinco.
Bye.
I tried. I mean, it's the trying for me.
Temporada.
Okay, I'll let you go ahead and close it off with that.
Anyway, we love y'all, everybody. We love all of y'all. And we'll be back in 2021. Have a good rest of 2020.
Yes.
Protect your peace. We will be back bigger, better than ever. We love y'all.
Ooh, that sounded like Trump a little bit. Back
bigger
than ever.
The best is yet to
come. Right. But no, seriously, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting us. We hope you guys enjoyed this season. We'll be back next year. Take care of your body, your mental health, and your space. And I'm sending you positive vibes and great energy all over.
Yes, all the good vibes. And, you know, JB, we did this by ourselves this whole season. We didn't have a lick of guests this season.
We didn't. Ain't that something? But guess what? Next season's going to be having some heavy hitters.
Right, going to have a guest every episode.
Okay, it's going to have some heavy hitters. And also, I'm happy that you stayed on because I do just want to give a shout out to House Hill Entertainment, our entertainment company, for holding us down this season as well with marketing and you know the distribution and things like that. We really appreciate the love and support, and we appreciate the collaboration.
Yes, for sure. Definitely download the House Hill Media app. It's free in the App Store, so definitely get that because you can listen to us there too.
Yes, sir.
So, but anyway, we love y'all. Take care of yourself. Protect your peace. Regardless of what happens with this election, we will be good. We're gonna be all right. And we love y'all. See y'all in season 6.
Cheers.
All right, bye, y'all. We love y'all.
Bye.